Now, the news. There's a company out of Middle Pennsylvania that has been sort of shaking things up a bit over the last couple years called Stuff and Things Incorporated, aka Stink. Their biggest hit that you'd be familiar with is the Stizon, aka a rotary magazine that works with 9mm AKs. They also recently released this Gepard thing. Very interesting. Well, now they've come out with a new fire control group for the Kel-Tec P50. So essentially what you have here is a new lower, which would allow you to use AR triggers and grips, and moves the mag release under the mag, which is closer to like an AK style release. And it has a pick rail out back for a brace or other attachments, whatever you want to put there. So sort of making the P50 a bit better. There is a proprietary charging handle on that Stink lower as well. The thing that makes this a lot simpler than like an AR lower is that the upper is actually the serialized portion on the Kel-Tec, so this doesn't require an FFL. And the MSRP for the FCG lands at $200 for a complete setup or $150 strip. So all in with the P50 at full MSRP, this would be right around $1,000. I kind of love it. Now, of course, these guys are friends of mine. They've been in some videos, and I encourage all the goofy they're making, but it's because they are coming from a place of pushing boundaries and trying stuff that no one else is willing to do. It's cool ideas leading the way, and that's really refreshing in an industry full of Me Too products and Turkish clones. I'd love to hear what you guys think of this one down in the comments. Welcome back to another episode of the Gun Collective News. I'm John Patton, and GunCon tickets are on sale right now over at guncon.net. I have a whole bunch of details to share with you guys that I will be getting to later in the show, but the time to get your tickets is now. Moving on, POF USA has a new pistol called the PSG-22, and it's actually kind of interesting. First off, it weighs in at 3.3 pounds, uses an 8-inch barrel, chambered in .22 long rifle, of course, and it can accept an AR buffer tube out back. It also can do an AR trigger and safety. And the upper is actually a monolithic aluminum thing, I believe, and the lower is injection molded polymer, which leads to that lightweight. The mags, 1022 style. So I'm betting the internals are also very similar to a 1022 with an exterior that looks very different from a 1022. That's actually kind of neat if it's all true, if my speculation is correct. Now, I'm sure some of you noticed the thing on the end of the barrel that looks like a suppressor, and they call that the enhanced pressure device, and say that it is definitely not a silencer. So it's probably used to increase back pressure and make the gun work well, both suppressed and unsuppressed. The MSRP is $600 on this one. This could be a home run, which is something we really haven't seen from POF in a while. Their stuff has always been well built in my experience, so here's hoping the PSG-22 isn't a pile of crap. Smith & Wesson is back in the news this week with a new version of their FPC, aka folding pistol carbine thing. Sure. If you aren't familiar with the FPC, it has a party trick in that it can turn around and lick its own rear end like your dog. I'm not making it weird, you are. So this originally came out 2 years ago, and it was only chambered in 9mm at the time, and people were sort of making fun of them for copying Kel-Tec's homework. It's like, hey, the folding gun is not really a new concept. Anyway, fast forward to now, they skipped over to 45 ACP version and went straight to making it in 10mm, aka 40 Smith & Wesson for adults. At the core, you have a 16-inch barrel that has the grip of an M&P pistol tucked into a folding setup with a stock that carries 2 M&P pistol mags. This thing actually does come with 3 mags, which is fantastic. That's great. Now, to me, this is a proper caliber for a folding survival gun. It's got enough punch for both defense against bears and two-legged critters. They also included a better buffer system than the 9mm with like some tungsten and urethane bushings to help sort of tame the increased recoil of the 10mm cartridge, which is nice. MSRP here is $700, which is the same as the 9mm and definitely not bad for what you're getting here. Rolling on from there, SK Guns is back in the news with another series from their partnership with Agency Arms. We looked at the Firecrest a couple weeks ago, and now they're showing off the Eclipse. There are 4 versions of the gun, and underneath they're all single-stack 1911s in either 9 or 45. The C version comes with a big old chunk port in the nose, while the P version Has some lightning cuts in the slide, and there are ports in the barrel that line up with that. They can be had with either a color combo that they call camo. I don't know how I feel about that one. Or the better looking, in my opinion, non-camo version with the sort of color case look. These guns also feature the agency optic system, which is a nice touch, and overall look pretty damn nice. Serrations look nice, grip looks nice. MSRP is $19.50 for the paraported version and $19.75 for the chunk port version. I gotta be honest, if I'm spending that kind of money on a pistol, it's gonna be a double stack. But I know some of you guys out there are more traditional than I am, so this is a neat option if you're into a blend of like modern, traditional, all-in-one. Now kiss. In fact, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments, as per usual. Are 1911s still something you want in your collection? Are they obsolete? Is a 9mm 1911 blasphemy? While you're furiously typing away, how about a word from this week's sponsor, Medical Gear Outfitters? Whether you're looking to get an IFAK for yourself like the Civilian Medical Trauma Kit, or maybe something a little bit more diverse to keep in your truck like the Overlander First Aid Kit, they've got you covered. They even have one called the Mom First Aid Kit that has everything you can think of for minor boo-boos all the way up to major trauma. These kits from Medical Gear Outfitters will help you stay prepared for anything, and to make it even more affordable than it already is, use the code TGC10 for 10% off at medicalgearoutfitters.com. Big thanks to MGO for supporting TGC. I literally take those med kits all over the place with me. They're great. Let's keep it rolling with this week's Friendly Fire questions. If you want to ask me a question, slam it down in the comments with the word Friendly Fire so I can actually go back and find it. I'm going to rapid fire a few since we've been doing that a little bit and you guys seem to be enjoying it. Adam Gargier says, what red dot do you recommend for someone with astigmatism, and would you make a video about all the options that would do that? I actually have light astigmatism and it's fine for me as long as I'm wearing my glasses. So I say get a better prescription that actually corrects the issue and you'll probably be fine. My shooting glasses are also prescription, which I think is pretty important. Like if you're not using prescription lenses when you need them, you should probably be using them. And no, I'm not going to make a video about it because it's too niche and it would not do well. The video would just tank. Suze says, are you pro NRA as an organization? That's kind of complex. I hate what the NRA has become. The board needs to be gutted entirely, shrank down to a reasonable size. 76 board members is insane. It's so stupid, especially when the org is largely out of touch with modern gun owners. I also think, at the same time, we need every group in the fight for gun rights, so if we can possibly right that ship, we should probably try to do that. I had the second VP of NRA, Mark Vaughn, on my podcast not that long ago, so go watch that if you want a little bit more info. We'll put a link in the description. And Golcash says, what's your favorite Clay's gun and why is it the Benelli Montefeltro? Well, first off, it's not a Benelli at all. That's just not going to happen. My current favorite is the A400 XL, and my newest Clay gun is a Joel Etchin Signature Beretta 687 Silver Pigeon 3. Love that thing. This is my first over-under that I've owned. How's about some industry news? Henry Repeating Arms has announced a big shift in their business. For a long time, they had a manufacturing facility in Bayonne, New Jersey, as well as over in Wisconsin. I believe it was Rice Lake. And now they are committing to moving 100% of manufacturing to Wisconsin. They say that they recently expanded on their Rice Lake facility and plan to also use 2 facilities in Ladysmith, Wisconsin. So there's 3. And then they just closed on a third spot in Ladysmith. So that's full commitment for sure. It's unfortunate that it took this long, but it is really positive to see them getting the out of that trash heap known as New Jersey. Ugh. And in some more different industry news, Barrett Firearms announced plans for a new super fancy sort of state-of-the-art facility in Tennessee. They're referring to it as the Barrett Manufacturing and Technology Campus, or BMTC for short. Sounds like a crypto thing. It is said to cost $76.4 million and happen on a 170-acre chunk of land near Murfreesboro, Tennessee. They also say it will open in early 2027. It's actually kind of refreshing to see Barrett as a brand continuing to invest in the U.S., being that they're currently owned by Australians. The claim is that the BMTC will help them ramp up their military efforts as well as their commercial firearms. And I'm all for that on all fronts. Hey, Barrett, if you're listening, holler at me when the place opens, and we'll come do a video tour for everyone. That'd be great, wouldn't it? It'd be a lot of fun. And now it's time to dig in some GunCon news. Boys and girls, I am proud to share that tickets, as I said, are on sale for GunCon 2025 in Cleveland, Ohio right now. The event is happening on June 28th at the Twist Drill building, and we're going to have an awesome time. It's going to be so cool. We're going to have brands like Bull Armory, DS Arms, HK, Century, Canic, Align Tactical, Ross Martin, Shaw Barrels, XTech Tactical, Victor, Next Level Armament, KDG, Duria, DNT Optics, Gideon Optics, High Point, Full Forge Gear, Inland Manufacturing, Meprolite, Night Vision, Radian, Ranger Point Precision, Recover Tactical, Rifle Speed, Stuff and Things, Excess Sights, Knock Picks, Romeo Hotel Engineering, Patch Ops, Savox, and there are more signing up all the damn time. If you want your brand to be there, if you're in the gun industry, you want to be a part of this, holler at me. We also have a ton of great panelists this year. We do the panels every year. On the 2A panel, we're going to have Jared from Guns and Gadgets, Anthony from Armed Scholar, Paul from Legally Armed America, Adam freaking Kraut from the Second Amendment Foundation, and the show right here on TGC called The Big 2A, Travis White, my buddy from FRAC, Eric Pratt from Gun Owners of America. Then on the Next Gen panel, we're going to have Tactical Advisor, Tactical Considerations, Johnny B, somehow less tactical, and Got Gamage. And I'm going to add a couple more folks to that one. Stay tuned on that. Then on the Elite panel, we have the OGs of GunTube. Curtis from VSO Gun Channel. Sean from We Like Shooting and Dangerous Freedom. My buddy Kevin Dixie, Mr. Guns and Gear. Ashley Lubinsky, the legendary firearms knowledge of all that shoved into her brain. And I'll be on that one too. And on top of that, we have a ton of other content creators coming as well. The ones I mentioned are just the panelists. There's a whole bunch, hundreds coming. So if you are a content creator and you want to be there, I would love to have you there. Just reach out so we can get you on the list. And of course, we have a ton of tickets this year for all you guys out there watching that want to come check it out. All the brands and creators are super excited to meet you guys. Tickets this year are the same price as last year, $50. And again, that includes lunch and a limited edition GunCon t-shirt. Only for this year. There will be giveaways, new product releases, and overall, it's some of the most fun that you can have at any gun event. It's going to be fantastic to get to see all you guys, maybe some new faces since we're in Ohio now. And I should also mention the tickets for the past 3 years have sold out. So please go grab your tickets right now over at guncon.net, and we'll see you in June. It's going to be great. Bye.